first segment, Health and Physical Education, grade 11, for St. Peter's College, Colombo 4, Nigambo branch. Today I am going to discuss with you the physical education and the management of the physical resources. Let us cooperate with management and organizing through sports. The objectives of this lesson, role of the managers and the followers of the organization, and contribution of the managers towards the success of the organization, and the duties of the followers, and also finally we discuss about the tournaments. Subject content here, what is an organization, school organizational structure, duties and responsibilities of the managers and the followers, physical educational management in the school, resource management in the school, physical education programs in the school, and organization of inter-house sports competitions, and finally we discussed the tournaments. An organization. First, I would like to ask a question. What is an organization? Organization is a structure try to achieve their objectives, aims and objectives or the goals. An economic or a social unit which utilize resources effectively and try to achieve their objectives. So this is the definition for an organization. Next, these organizations perform different functions. They have different duties. There are persons appointed to carry out those duties. Examples are family, school, sports club. Features of an organization. Having set of aims and objectives. They have goals. They all get together and try to achieve their goals. Having strategies to achieving these aims and objectives. They have different strategies to achieve their goals. Teamwork. They should have the team spirit. They all should get together and work to achieve their goals. And having persons for the implementation of those strategies. That's why the managers are there to control everything. The next we'll discuss about the basic management structure in the society. Under this I am going to discuss about the family. This is the basic unit in the society. Here you can see this is the father, mother and the children. Father is the manager of the family. Mother under him. Both of them get together and work to uplift the standard of the family. Children, they are the followers. They all have to obey the rules and regulations of the parents. Then we'll discuss about the school management structure. What is the management? Under the school management structure, the first question, what is the management? The process of planning, organizing, directing, handling of human resources and other resources efficiently and effectively for the achievement of their aims and objectives, their goals. This is the example or the meaning for the management. Next, we'll discuss about the school management structure. Head is the principal. Under the principal, there's a board of management. Then, under the board of management as well as under the principal, we can put deputy principal and establishment, then deputy principal for the educational development programs, and deputy principal for the co-curricular activities. They all have to, if they have any issues, they all can report to the board of management. Then board of management can carry those issues to the principal. Also here, past pupils association and school development. committee. They all can support to the board of management to uplift the standard of the school. Next, we will see who are the supporters under them. Under the deputy principal establishment, we can put clerical staff as well as the minor employees. Under the deputy principal of educational development, we can put sectional heads, class teachers, prefects and the class monitors, subject monitors and the students or the pupils. Then under deputy principal co-curricular activities, chief administrator, then we can put the teachers in charge of the particular teams, sports captains as well as the sportsmen and women. Next we will discuss about the managers and the management. Manager. Who is the manager? He is a person who involves with the process of coordination. He should have the ability to coordinate everything and the management of resources, available resources, in order to achieve the aims and objectives of the organization. If this person has the ability to do all these things, we can call him as a manager. He is a responsible person. Here, this is the management structure of an organization. There are three tiers. Upper management, we can put executives there. Then middle management, we can put all the middle managers. And lower management. This is the supervisory level. We can put all the supervisors under the third one or the lower management. If we equal this to the school management, we can put the principal of the school in the first triangle, first part or under the upper management. Then sectional heads of the school, we can put them in the middle, under the middle managers. And then under lower management, we can put class teachers as well as subject teachers and subject heads. Now we will see what are the qualities of the manager. He should have the ability to handle everything perfectly. Skills in taking leadership. He should be a very good leader. And knowledge about the subject area, particular subject area. And he should have the ability to coordinate with the others, good interpersonal coordination skills and good communication skills, ability to convey the messages very well and listen to his followers, and skills in making judgments and in analysis. If he faces any problem, he should have the ability to find the correct solution for that. Emotional balance, skills to handle pressure effectively, successfully, and skilled in maintaining institutional balance. You should have the ability to balance or maintain a balanced environment. And you should be a flexible person, skilled in human resource management. These are the qualities of a manager. Now we will discuss who is a follower. Always the followers are under the manager. A follower is a person who works cooperatively under a leader in order to achieve the set of aims and objectives to increase the efficiency for the success of the institution. These followers are working under the manager and they have to obey the rules and regulations of the particular institution. Also, they have to obey the manager. Then we will see what are the qualities of the follower. Providing assistance to achieve the common goal. In the particular institution, they have a common goal. So, the followers have to help the managers or the management to achieve their goals. Then, respecting the leadership. Handling pressure effectively. Carry out responsibilities properly. When they are assigned with different duties, they have to perform them very well. maintaining healthy interpersonal relationships, acting with team spirit, and they should be flexible. These are the qualities of the followers. Next we'll discuss about the physical resources and how do we manage these physical resources. Now tell me what are the physical resources available in your school? You can recall what are the physical resources that we have in our school. Athletes, school playground, school buildings, different play areas are there. We can put play areas, sports equipments what we have, then medical treatment unit, school laboratory, science lab, chapel, school canteen, scout den. There are so many things than this. We can put all these things under physical resources available in our school. Now we'll discuss how to manage these resources. How do you manage these physical resources? You should have a proper plan of these things, management of these physical resources. Planning and identifying sports resources. You can have a record of the resources available in the school. Then you can obtain if some things are necessary for you rather than the things available. You can obtain them from the management. Distribution of the available resources in the proper manner. Maintenance and repairing them. How do you use these resources effectively? Use resources for multi-purpose. For an example, if I take the playground as an example, we can use the playground for many events, providing opportunities to use them. You can provide opportunities to each and every child to use these resources effectively. Inculcate good attitudes related to conservation of these resources. We can educate the children how to use these resources effectively, carefully. Next, physical education programs. We are going to classify the physical educational programs into three. Compulsory physical education program. Second one, co-curricular physical educational programs, and the third one, physical educational programs conducted outside the school. First, we'll discuss the first one, compulsory physical educational activities that we have in the school. Under the compulsory physical educational activities or the programs, we can put physical fitness programs, physical fitness test, teaching of the subject of health and physical education, compulsory physical education from 6 to 9. Then second one, the co-curricular physical educational programs. Under co-curricular physical educational programs, we can put inter-house sports competitions, organizing different training programs, athletics training workshops. You can arrange some workshops for the athletes, and sports clubs, athletics or physical education day, and special sports training programs for the athletes. Next, third one, we see what are the physical education programs conducted outside the school. They are inter-school competitions, first aid program, scouting program, cadet camps, then hikes, mountaineering or climbing mountains, jungle exploration. These things we can put under the physical educational programs conducted outside the school. What are the benefits you get from school physical educational activities? Are there benefits? Yes, there are many benefits from these physical educational activities. We'll see what are they. For the improvement of physical fitness, you can be a physically fit person. To develop one's attitudes, you can inculcate good attitudes by doing these things. Development of skills in managing stress. We can control the stress by participating for different school activities. Next one, personality development. one, getting the opportunity to share the experiences. You can share the experiences what you had from your program. And finally, opportunities to share your talents, sharpen your talents. You can sharpen your talents. How do you plan physical educational activities in your school? First, we have to consider the age and the gender of the participants. Accordingly, you can prepare a list for this. Then you can schedule the activities, as well as you have to find whether you have an appropriate environment for the particular activity. Use of the resources available. Consider the school rules and regulations. Design the activity according to the mental and physical requirement of the students. Should help the students to spend their leisure effectively. For this, you can arrange some fun activities too. Help in relieving the stress and pressure effectively. Next one, design activities to gain some pleasure. Provide opportunities to sharpen the skills of the students. So you can arrange the physical education activity and obtain these benefits from it. Now we will see how to organize the inter-house sports competitions. Under organizing of sports competitions, there are some steps to be followed. The first one, there should be pre-preparation for the activity, particular activity. Pre-meet activities, we call it as the pre-meet activities. Second one, activities on the day, or implement the things we prepared under pre-preparation. Third one, post-meet activities, or that is the conclusion. We are going to wind up the activity. Under pre-meet activities or under pre-preparation, we will see what are the basic things to be planned. First, we should have a management meeting. Then we can appoint different committees and we can assign them different duties. Appoint the leaders and office bearers. We can fix a date, nominate the chief guest, list out the guest invitees, line up the events, what we do for the day of the sports meet, decide the events, arrange the invitations and send in the invitations, arrangement of the timetable for the sports. Then we can arrange the activity sheet, or we can call this as the line-up sheet. Issue applications for the applicants, arrangement of the play area and the resources, inform the judges, arrange the march past, we can prepare the drill display, then you can assign a committee to arrange the trophy table, can arrange the parents waiting area, refreshment for the invitees and the students, first aid unit, Red Cross and the ambulance. These are the things to be prepared before the sports meet. Next, activities on the day. Now we are going to implement the things we arrange. Arrangement of the athletes for their events. Secondly, ready the flags and hoisting them. Then appoint the prefects, scouts at the necessary locations. Accompanying the chief guest, allocation of the parents at their places, look after judges, arrangement of the refreshment, arrangement of the other events, and arrangement of the certificates and the trophy table, and you can have the award ceremony. Next, we are going to wind up this activity, post-meet activities. These are the things to be done to wind up the activity, bring the place back to normal. If there are things to return, you can return them, you can clean the place and you can rearrange the place, bring the place back to normal. Then returning equipments, sending thanking letters for the people who came to your place. Appreciate the performances of the students, thanking the students, thanking all the supportives, place the flags and the other things at the proper places, and cleaning the area. These are the things to be done at the end of the activity. This is known as the post-meet activities. Now, what are the different organizing committees in the school? As I told you earlier, when we plan the activity, you can create different committees. Main organizing committee, then certificate committee, refreshment committee, and the finance committee. From these words, you can identify their duties and responsibilities. Right. From the second session, I would like to talk about the tournaments. What is a tournament? A series of competitions of some sports held between teams or persons in accordance with a set of accepted rules. They have a set of rules and regulations. They all have to undergo the rules and regulations, and we are selecting a winner. This is known as a tournament. Under tournaments, we discuss different tournaments. Knockout tournament, or we call single elimination tournament. Second one, league tournament. Third one, combination tournament. And finally, challenge tournament. These are the tournaments we have under the 11th syllabus. But especially we focus on knockout tournament and the league tournament. Knockout tournament, or we call single elimination tournament. One team is eliminated. Knockout. That's why we give this name, single elimination tournament. Defeated team is eliminated. Winning team can go forward. Defeated team is eliminated. Used in school level competitions. Remember very well, knockout tournament is used in school level competitions. Next, under the knockout tournament, there are two different types. First one, when the number of teams is a power of 2. When the number of teams is a power of 2. Second one, when the number of teams is not a power of 2. So, under the knockout tournament, separately we will discuss these two. Single elimination or the knockout tournament, when the number of teams is a power of 2. Now look at these. I have taken some power of 2 values here. 2. 2 to the power 1. 4. 2 to the power 2. 8. 2 to the power 3. 16. 2 to the power 4. And 32. 2 to the power 5. All these are with 2 to the power 2 to the power values. Right. Now we are going to find the number of matches to be played here. There is a formula to find the number of matches to be played, n minus 1. So this is the formula to find the number of matches to be played. Now suppose you have 4 teams. For an example, I have selected 4 teams here. The teams are A, B, C and D. How do you find, when there are 4 teams, how do you find the number of matches to be played? Use the formula n minus 1. N equals 4. 4 minus 1, the answer is 3. So, the number of matches to be played equals to 3. Now, we are going to arrange the play. Now, look at the play. The play has 2 rounds. Here are the 4 teams A, B, C and D. Now I am going to have the match between A and B. From the match between A and B, A came forward, B defeated, single elimination. Again the match between C and D. From these 2 teams, D came forward. D came forward. Again I am going to have the match between A and D. From the match between A and D, A came forward. Right. Second method, the number of teams is not a power of 2. Now, when the number of teams is not the power of 2, we have to award buys. The buys are awarded. How do you arrange the buys? Buys are awarded from bottom to top. Always the buys are awarded from bottom to top. Right. Consider the next, Now we will take the number of teams as 6. For the particular tournament, there are 6 teams. This is not the number with the power of 2 value. So what are you going to do here? You have to find the number greater than this with the power of 2 value. So you can take 8 as the value greater than this with the power of 2. This is the number of teams, 6. This is not the power of 2 value. You don't have power of 2 value here. So you have to consider the nearest number greater than this with the power of 2 value. So I am going to take 8 here. 2 to the power 3. How do you find the number of buys to be awarded? From this number you have to deduct 6. 8 minus 6 equals to 2. Then number of matches to be played, you can use this formula. Number of teams 6 minus 1. Number of matches to be played 5. Here number 2 equals to the number of buys to be awarded. Right? Now you have an idea about number of buys to be awarded and how many matches to be played. Now we will prepare the draw for this. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Here are the 6 teams. A, B, C, D, E, F. I have given some names for them. Now I am going to offer the buys. We have 2 buys. First buy you have to offer them from bottom to top. First buy to team F. Second buy to team A. Now both the buys are awarded. Now the middle 4 groups are remaining. Now we are going to have the match between them. I am going to have the match between D and E. From these 2 teams, D came forward. The most skillful team will come forward. D came forward. From the match between B and C, C came forward. Now I am going to have the match again between D and team F, which got the first buy. The match between D and team F. From the match between these 2, F came forward. Again I am going to have the match with team C and team A, who got the second buy. From these 2 teams, C came forward. Finally, I am going to have the match between C and F. C and F. From the match between C and F, C came forward. Now we will see how many rounds are here. Round 1. Here round 2. And this is the round 3. It is the final round. This is the draw we can prepare for the particular example. Right. Now shall we count the number of matches to be played here? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now we will see what are the advantages and disadvantages of the single elimination or the knockout tournament. Under advantages, there are less number of matches to be played. Organizing of the tournament is very easy. The tournament can be finished within a short time period. Less physical resources are required for this. and less number of tournaments are there and less number of judges are required. These are the advantages of the single elimination tournament. Now we'll see what are the disadvantages of the single elimination tournament. Defeated team is left. That's why we call single elimination. Stronger team will remain. Sometimes stronger teams too will eliminated. Weaker team will remain. Those are disadvantages of this method. Skilled players will lose their chances. When there are a large number of teams for play, then the other teams have to remain for a long time. Sometimes unfair for some teams. These are disadvantages of the single elimination tournament. Now we'll discuss about the league tournament. And the league tournament, here the losers are not removed. They will remain until the end of the tournament. Each team gets the opportunity to play one another. Every team will get a chance to play. Rotational method is used when prepare the teams. When you prepare the draw, we use the rotational method. The rotational method can be clockwise or anti-clockwise. And to find the number of matches to be played under the league tournament, there's a special formula, not the previous one. N bracket n minus 1 divided by 2. This is the formula we use under the league tournaments to find the number of matches to be played. Now we'll take an example to solve the problem. Right. When there are 10 teams, if the number of teams participating in the tournament is 10, we can take n equals to 10. And we'll find the number of matches to be played here, n minus 1 divided by 2. Here you can substitute 10 minus 1 divided by 2. You will get 45 matches. That means all the teams have to remain for a long time under this tournament. Under league tournaments, there are some methods of preparing the draw. When the number of participating teams is an even number. Second one, when the number of participating teams is an odd number. So you have to consider these. If it is an even number, a separate method. If it is an odd number, a separate method is used. Right. Participating the draw, preparing the draw when the number of participating teams is an even number. Now I am going to take an even number for the number of teams. Teams 8. This is an even number. Number of matches to be played. You can use the formula here. n minus 1 divided by 2. If you apply this value here, you will get 28 as the answer. This is the number of matches to be played. Now I am going to prepare the draw for this tournament. Here are the 8 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we are going to apply here the rotational method when we prepare the draw. I am going to keep team number 1 at the same place without participating for this rotation. And other teams will change their places. We'll see what will happen here. Now in the first round, number 2 here. In the second round, what will happen? Number 8 will come to this place. Number 8 will come to this place. Then what will happen to number 2? Number 2 may go down. Look at the second round. Number 8 came to this place. Number 2 went down. Now what has happened to number 7? Number 7 came up in the second round. Number 7, in the first round it was here. In the second round, number 7 came up. Now we'll move the third round. Now number 7 will come to number place of number 8. Then number 8 will go down and number 2 also go down. This is the rotational method. Here I have used the clockwise rotational method. Right? Accordingly, we can find what are the groups or the teams participating for this play. Number 3 with number 8, number 4 with number 7, number 5 with number 6. Accordingly, you can find what are the teams which participate for the play. Now I am going to take an odd number as the number of teams. It is number 7. Number of matches to be played, you can use a formula n(n-1) divided by 2. From this formula, you can get the answer. Number of matches to be played, 21 matches. Even here we can use the rotational method. Now you can see 7 rounds are here. When we go through this rotational method, each team gets a bye. Now look at these rounds. Here number 7 got the bye. In the second round number 6 got the bye. Third round number 5. In other round 4 number 4 got the bye. Round 5 number 3 got the bye. Accordingly, each team will get a bye. Now we will see how to arrange the rotational method here. Now 7 teams are here. You can arrange the teams 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. First, in the first round, I am going to offer the bye for team number 7. Bye for team number 7. The second round, what will happen? In the second round, 7 will come to this place of number 1. Number 1 will move down. Look at the second round. Number 1 will move down. What has happened to number 6 now? Number 6 got a bye. Then round number 3, on round number 3, number 6 will come down. Now who got the bye? Team 5 will get the bye. Round number 4, number 5 came here. Number 4 will go here to get the bye. So this is known as a rotational method. The special feature here, every team will get a bye. Now we will see how to select the winners of the tournament. Winning team gets 2 points. If the match ends in a draw, both teams get 1 point each. And the team that loses the match gets 0 points, no points. And winning team is decided by adding total points obtaining by each. This is a method to decide the winners. Now we will discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of the league tournament. Under the advantages, can select the best team. And participants get chances to improve their talents. Ranking the teams according to their talents. Team can remain in the tournament until the end of the tournament. There are disadvantages too. Organizing is very difficult because there are a lot of teams and a lot of rounds are there. As the number of matches to be played very high, more physical resources are required, more judges are needed. It takes a long time to complete the tournament, and teams that suffer continuous defeats may get discouraged. These are the disadvantages of the league tournament. Now I am going to have a comparison between the knockout and the league tournament. We will take features. These are common features for both the tournaments. Time taken for the tournament. For the knockout tournament, a short time. For the league tournament, it's a long time. For the organizing of the activity, it is easy under the knockout tournament or the single elimination tournament, but in league tournament a bit difficult. Third one, finances for organizing. Low for the knockout tournament but high for the league tournament. Possibility of selecting the best winners. It is low for the knockout tournament, but for the league tournament it's very high. Obtaining necessary physical resources, simple to obtain the resources for the knockout tournament, but for the league tournament it is complicated. You have to find out of resources for this. Finding judges easy for the knockout tournament, and for the league tournament you have to find many judges. Ordering teams according to their performances. It is difficult in the knockout tournament, but in league tournament it is easy. Developing talents from match to match, difficult in knockout because the defeated team is eliminated. But in league tournament it is easy. Fine. Now there is a question at the end of the lesson. What are the common features of an organization? We discuss what are the common features of an organization. You can write answers for this question. Write 4 qualities that a manager and a follower each should possess. You can write what are the qualities of the manager, qualities of the followers. Write 5 benefits of resource management in physical education. You take your school as an example and write how do you manage and what are the benefits you get by the management of the physical resources. Write 6 physical education activities conducted in your school. Write 5 benefits you gain by participating in physical educational programs conducted in the school. And write 3 main phases of organizing the inter-house sports meet. And finally, prepare the draw for 10 teams under the knockout tournament and under the league tournament. There are 10 teams. I have taken question number 7. I have selected question number 7 to discuss with you. We'll see how to prepare the draw for 10 teams under league and the knockout tournament. First, I am going to discuss the knockout tournament. Number of teams 10. Now we will find number of matches to be played. This is the formula n minus 1. So you may find number of matches to be played as 9. 10 not a number with the power of 2. So you have to find the number of byes to be given. So you find the nearest and the highest number with the power of 2 value. It is 16 to the power 4. Right? Now I am going to find the number of byes to be given. 16 is the number near to number 10 but highest with the power of 2 value. Near to number 10 but with the highest value also with the power of 2 value. You can deduct 10 from 16, then you will get 6. This is the number of byes to be given. Now we will offer the byes. Here are the teams A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I and J. 10 teams are here. I have 6 byes here to offer. When you offer the bye, always from bottom to top. First bye to the bottom group, second bye, third bye, fourth bye, fifth bye and the sixth bye. Now we have already offered the 6 byes. Now you can see in the middle 4 teams are remaining. Now we are going to have the match between them. We'll take the match between F and G. From the match between F and G, F came forward. From the match between D and E, D came forward. From the match between F and G, F came forward. From the match between these two, D came forward. Now I am going to have the match between H who got the fifth bye and F. Between these two, H came forward. Next, H and team I who got the third bye. H and I, H came forward. Finally, H and team J who got the first bye. J came forward. Accordingly, at this side, here D came forward. Match between C and D. C is the team who got the sixth bye, the last bye. Here, match between these two, D came forward. Now, again the match between D and B. B is the team who got the fourth bye. From the match between B and D, B came forward. Finally, I am going to have the match between B and A. A is the team who got the second bye. From the match between these two, A and B, A came forward. Now we are going to have the final round, the match between A and J. From the match between A and J, A came forward. Now you can find, now we have already offered 6 byes. Now you can count and see whether there are 9 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the draw you can prepare when there are 10 teams under the knockout tournament. Now we'll use the league tournament. League tournament with the 10 teams. 10 teams are there. Number of matches to be played. You have to use the formula n minus 1 divided by 2. From this formula you will get 45 matches to be played. It's a big draw. Now I have taken 4 rounds here. You can complete the rest after the discussion. I'm going to keep number 1, team number 1 at this place without moving with the rotation. Here are the 10 teams starting from 1 up to 10. In the second round, what will happen to team 10? Team 10 will move to the place where the team 2 was. And team 2 will come down. They all are rotating. Look at the second round. Now team 10 here. Team 2 went down. Team 9 came up to the place of team number 10. Round number 3. Team 9 here, team 10 here, team 10 came down. Team 9 went to the place of team number 10. And 8 was here in the second round and our 8 came here number 1. Accordingly, we can prepare the draw for the rotational method when there are 10 teams under the league tournament. Hope you all enjoyed with the lesson. Have a blessed day and God bless you all.